Hey there, clarinerds and clarinerdettes. I have a question for you. What can a spoon tell us about the clarinet that would be important for us to know? Stay tuned and you'll find the answer. You know, Aristotle said that everything that's made is made for some purpose, for something. And he outlined exactly the process by which things are made and why they're made in what he called the four causes. I actually have a video on that if you ever want to look back in the archives that we have here, which are highly disorganized, much like yours truly. So what's that got to do with spoons and clarinets? Well, spoons, for instance. Spoons are not just made in the abstract. I mean, we think about things in the abstract, but when we make something, we make it for something specific. We always have an object in mind. For instance, a spoon. Now, a spoon is a tool. It's a great tool. And what's it great for? Well, it's great for eating cereal. I didn't have this morning, but I used to have. And it's great for scooping things out. It could be used for other things, but it's not made for those things. You just sort of adapt it and improvise a little bit with this and use it for different things. Great for cereals, really great for eating soup, but not so great for digging a ditch. You could dig a ditch with this theoretically, but it would be very hard work because this is not a suitable tool for digging a ditch. In the same way, musical instruments are made for specific tasks. And people who are sane, and that is, they think rather specifically rather than abstractly, when saying about musical instruments, they know this and they respond accordingly. For instance, trombone players, for whatever else you might want to say about them, are sane people for the most part. And if you ask them, what's the best trombone? They'll say, for what purpose? For playing bass trombone in a Kenton-style big band? Or for playing small group jazz? Or for playing lead trombone in a big band? Or for playing bolero with the Chicago Symphony? The answer will be different in every case because the player will try to match the instrument to the task. He'll fit the punishment, so to speak, to the crime. He knows that some trombones do certain things better with more ease and give them more confidence than others. You might ask a trumpet player the same question, and you'll get very similar answers, but he'll say, for what? What's the best trumpet for what? For playing in the orchestra? Maybe it's the C trumpet of a certain brand, or so on and so forth. Well, here's my point. My point is that in order for something to be meaningful, it has to be meaningful for us. It has to be attached to something concrete. You know, there's a saying that there are really no stupid questions, there's only stupid answers. But after last week, I tend to revise that idea because I do think there are some stupid questions. And one of them I ran across on a clarinet discussion board, and that someone asked, what is your ultimate clarinet? Describe, what's your ultimate clarinet? And I guess they were speaking just your ultimate idea of a clarinet or your ultimate brand of clarinet, but many people chimed in and answered and so forth. Well, this is about as dumb a question as you can possibly ask, because it's thinking of the clarinet in the abstract, as if there's some great and glorious clarinet that's the best clarinet for all purposes and all occasions and all times and does all things better than any other clarinet. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just within the instruments that we make, like for instance the Libertas here. The Libertas is a very flexible instrument. It's a very agile instrument, a very responsive instrument, a very even instrument, and it's coloristic. You can move the colors around, and It's a real soloistic style instrument. It can be used for other things, like a spoon could be used for digging a ditch. Actually, it's a little better than that. But it can be used for different things. But it's a wonderful instrument as a solo instrument. But if I were going to play, say, a Brahms symphony, and I wanted a darker, more set clarinet, something that's more efficient and more even, so to speak, less coloristic, then I would probably pick the 576 BC, which is a more set clarinet and blends much better with the kind of dark hues that you run into the Brahms-style orchestra. If I were going to play jazz, I could probably play it on either one of them. A lot of that is a matter of concept. But the whole idea is that when you take different clarinets, they really do certain things much better than they do other things. When you look at Selmer and Buffet clarinets, for instance, and how different they are, a lot of Buffet clarinet players would discount the Selmer clarinets and vice versa, but they really do certain things much better than the other, you know. I feel that clarinet players really should rid themselves of the idea that there's this abstract golden sine qua non out there that they're looking for, this utopian clarinet, because it doesn't exist. Clarinet players need to think like other instrumentalists with specificity, in very concrete terms, with a very real understanding of the capabilities of an instrument, its virtues, and the demands of musical style and musical context that are being placed upon those instruments. Not every instrument does everything better than any other instrument in every case. Many instruments play much better and give you much more confidence and security and help you accomplish your musical goals with much more ease than others, depending on the context. And let me encourage you as a player, as you develop musically and begin to have insight not only into music and the demands of music and the character of music, but also your own technical development, to really learn to analyze instruments in a more objective term so you can find the right tool for the right job. There is nothing better, and it makes the job a lot easier when you have the right tool. You don't want to go out digging ditches with something like this.